Hello everyone, I'd like to welcome you back to the 5th update of San Diego El Cajon International Airport, my fictional 1-400 model airport. So the previous update did very well, at least by my standards, compared to the amount of subscribers I had. I believe at the moment it's got 1.4 thousand views, and that's in the first few days. So I've decided I'm going to start making these more often because it's clear there are people who do want to watch them, contrary to what I believed previously. So I'm going to start making more of these, as I say. Hopefully I'll start being able to vary the collection a little bit more, and I'm going to start shifting the focus of the channel onto more model airport and model related things over. There will be still flight reviews, model reviews. I might start with model unboxings as well when I get them, because I think they tend to do quite well. I do apologise for sounding very with a much deeper voice today because I've got an awful cold, and if I do can't think of what to say, I will blame it on just me having a bit of a cold, which is why this intro is a bit odd. But anyway, I will start with the update, but overall I do want to shift the channel's focus more onto the model airport and then definitely aviation related topics. I know there are some videos I'm going to start working on making the ones private that aren't related to it. I think some of the Theme Park Tycoon 2 ones will stay because that is still something I quite enjoy doing, even though they don't get too many views. But yeah, definitely focus on aviation. And once I start flying, because I have got a video that did not that well on my first time ever flying, which I uploaded about 2 years ago, but I've done a bit more now. And hopefully if I continue it, I want to post videos from how I go on to get my PPL, which is a journey I've already started. But I think when I go on to do these flights, I might start recording videos giving you an idea on what I know on flying, my abilities, and where I can improve on flying, and hopefully be able to give people some useful tips who also want to start out with it. So if there's anything you'd like to see, just let me know. I do appreciate all comments from people as well, just on my model airport or just on aircraft in general. It's all very nice to never had anyone be rude to me or anything, which is always lovely to know that people enjoy your videos and enjoy seeing. I do enjoy hearing from people who also collect these aircraft, because it's one of my biggest hobbies really, collecting and building this airport. It's been a lot of fun. I do really enjoy building it, and it's not quite done. As you will notice, there are bits that definitely need improvement and additions, but overall I've rambled on for about 3 minutes now, so I'm going to start the update. So here we have a Delta 737-900ER, the first of the SkyTeam gates, which will be heading out to Nashville. Now here we have another Delta 737-900ER that will be heading out to Detroit. Here we have a Delta A350-900 that will shortly be heading out to Tokyo Narita. And here we have a Virgin Atlantic 787-9 that's just pulled onto stand from Heathrow, and we're heading back out there about 9 PM tonight. Here we have another Virgin Atlantic aircraft, the A350-1000 this time, that will very shortly be heading out to London Heathrow. This one is the earlier flight, and it leaves around 5 PM, so I'd say this update probably takes place around 2-3 PM. Here we have a Delta A321 that's just arrived in from Atlanta and will be heading back out to Orlando. And here we have a Delta A321neo that will very shortly be heading out to Boston in Massachusetts. And here we have a United Airlines 737-800 that has just arrived in from Chicago and will be heading back out to Houston. And now just getting some catering on board is this American Airlines 737-800 in the One World livery that will very shortly be heading out to Dallas. It's just arrived in from Miami and it's just getting its passengers and catering on board. So just here we have a Southwest 737 MAX 8 in the Desert Gold, or Herbert D. Keller livery as it's officially known. I absolutely love this livery as much as this is the Gemini Jets one, so it's not the, I suppose not the best rendition of it. NG one does look better. I did order the NG one, but they sent me the Gemini Jets one instead because they didn't have the NG one, but I still took it. I figured it was still a good idea to take it. And yeah, it's a lovely plane. This one will be heading out to Oakland very shortly. At the moment I only have these two Southwest planes, so I keep them both on here, both special liveries, but I'm hoping to get some in the Heart livery very soon. And just on stand here we have this Southwest 737-700 in the California 1 livery. This aircraft will very shortly be heading out to Las Vegas. It's just getting a little bit, its last bags on board and its last bit of fuel. And then once that's done, it will be pushing back and heading out to Las Vegas. And just here is this A340-300 with Lufthansa that will very shortly be pushing back for the earliest transatlantic flight that heads out to Frankfurt in Germany. And just here we have this American Embraer 175 that will very shortly be heading out to Phoenix, Arizona, and has just arrived in from Los Angeles. And just here we have an Alaska Embraer 170 that has just arrived in from Portland, Oregon, and we're making a flight up to Seattle once it's got its passengers unloaded and a new set of passengers on board. We have another Alaska plane. This time it's a 737 MAX 9 in the West Coast Wonders livery. Amazing livery. It'll be heading out to Anchorage very shortly. It has arrived in this morning, and it will be heading back out there later today. We have a JetBlue A321 that's just arrived in from Tampa in Florida, and we'll be heading out to Orlando, Florida. And now moving on to the cargo or hard stand, we have this FedEx MD-11. I love these tri-jets so much. I don't know what it is that makes me like them so much. They're just so unique. Which is why I try and include this one where I can. It's just difficult when I've only got this one hard stand that a cargo plane would suitably be parked at. So I like to be able to have a stand for everything that's on the airport, even if it's not on the stand. So we have this FedEx MD-11 that will shortly be heading out to Memphis in Tennessee. Here we have an Aer Lingus A330-300, which has just arrived in from Dublin in Ireland, and it's just pulling onto stand now. And here we have a flight that's had a slight delay because of an APU issue on board the aircraft. It's been delayed about 3.5 hours to leaving here, so this flight's only leaving San Diego now for Kahului. This A321neo does go to Kahului, and it is my only aircraft from Hawaiian besides my 767, which obviously can't operate because they don't fly anymore. But this aircraft, I say, is always going to Kahului. As much as I think it should go to Honolulu, I would like to pretend there is an A330 doing that service because it's a model I really want, but they're so incredibly rare finding an A330 in the new livery. So I really hope I can find the NG one at some point. If I can't, I see if there's somewhere I can buy a Gemini Jets one, but I really want the Hawaiian A330 so I can have that as a route going to Honolulu and this one going to Kahului. So yeah, like I say, slight delayed departure, just taxiing to the runway for Kahului, Maui. Here we have the final transatlantic scheduled arrival for the day. This is a British Airways 787-9. It's just coming from London Heathrow, just taxiing off the runway now. And just taxiing to stand is this Delta 717-200. Love these planes. They're, much as they're not the most comfortable on the inside, they're so cool. It's brilliant that Delta still have them in operation. And here we have this one, which has just arrived in from Los Angeles and is going to have about an hour and a half turnaround, where it'll then make a flight out to Albuquerque, New Mexico. And then to end this San Diego El Cajon update, we have a KLM A330-200 that has just landed and is now taxiing to its stand over in the SkyTeam gates here. You can see the Virgin and Delta plane behind it. It has arrived in from Amsterdam Schiphol, and it will be heading back out there in about 4 hours. So I'd like to thank you for watching. I hope this video does well, because I have seen my model airport videos have been doing very well, so I'm very thankful for that. I'm glad to see this is probably my favourite series that I do, and I'm glad to see that it's gaining some popularity. So I will start making more of these if they consistently do well. I'll just see how this one does, and I'll start making more, hopefully. As for updates, or sorry, not updates, flight reviews, I might have one coming probably not until January next year, actually, because it will be, I think I might be flying out to Seattle with either Delta or Virgin, and I'll try and do a Delta one or upper class review if I can, and either way I'll be flying there with one of them, and on the way back I'll be with the one I didn't fly. So we'll give it a go, and I'll see what I can do for a review based on that. I only ever do reviews if I get a window seat, because the reason you won't have seen the Virgin Atlantic review, when I do fly Virgin 90% of the time, that is basically to go transatlantic. That's the only airline I use. So going, in fact, it's the only airline I've ever used to go transatlantic, so Delta would be a new one to try out. And it's the reason you haven't seen a review of them is simply because I don't get window seats very often because we do fly upper class quite a lot, and that's obviously limited window space, so we do most time don't get windows, and I don't like to record if I don't have window seats. I feel the reviews aren't interesting without the outside footage. That is my favourite bit about the reviews, is seeing the time lapse and things of the pushback. But anyway, I'll stop rambling on about that. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for subscribing, because a lot of people have subscribed recently, and I do really appreciate it. It's great to see my channel grow. I never thought I'd really get to the point of having 1,000 views on my model airport videos. Back when they were, even about 5 months ago, I wasn't even getting 100 on them, and they've suddenly really picked up in popularity, which I'm really glad about. I know I've said it a lot, but I really am. It just shows that I'm very glad to see all of this, and it is lovely to have everyone being so nice about it. And yeah, it's just a lovely community of people that collect these model aircraft, and it's always nice to interact and see what they have to say. If you want to tell me about your collection or anything like that, any questions about mine, I'm happy to answer them. Just leave a comment. It always makes me happy to see people commenting. And as much as I've repeated a lot of information in this outro, I can't think of much else to say. So thank you very much, and I will see you in the next airport video. Goodbye.